The presence of the latest OPPO phone cannot be missed. This cannot be separated from the many OPPO fans who are always waiting for the presence of their latest smartphone. That's why here are a series of recommendations for OPPO 2025 phones that you can choose from. OPPO Find X8 Ultra comes with a 6.82-inch LTPO AMOLED display, 1440 by 3168 pixels, that supports 1 billion colors, 120 Hz refresh rate, Dolby Vision, HDR Vivid, and HDR10+. Peak brightness reaches 2,500 nits, while protection is entrusted to Corning Gorilla Glass. On the performance front, the phone is powered by a Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, 3nm fabrication, with an Adreno 830 GPU, combined with 12 and/or 16 GB of LPDDR5X RAM, and up to 1 TB of UFS 4.0 storage, making it ready for both heavy-duty and intensive gaming. For photography, the rear sports a 50-megapixel quad camera system, 23mm main lens with OIS, 70mm telephoto periscope 3x optical zoom OIS, 135mm telephoto periscope 6x optical zoom OIS, and 15mm ultra-wide lens, all with laser AF, color spectrum sensor, and Hasselblad calibration. The 32-megapixel front camera has PDAF and is capable of recording 4K video at 30 or 60 frames per second. Supporting everything, the 6,100 mAh battery supports 100-watt wired charging, 50-watt wireless, and 10-watt reverse wireless. OPPO offers 3 elegant color options, namely matte black, pure white, and shell pink. OPPO Find X8 Ultra price, starting from $1,364. OPPO F29 Pro is equipped with a 6.7-inch AMOLED screen, 1080 by 2412 pixel resolution, which already supports a refresh rate of 120 Hz and reproduction of 1 billion colors protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 2 so that it remains slim with a thickness of 7.6 mm and weighs 180 grams. The kitchen relies on the MediaTek Dimensity 7300 Energy chipset, 4nm fabrication, which is paired with 8 or 12 GB of RAM and up to 256 GB of UFS 3.1 storage, capable enough for daily activities and light-medium gaming on Android 15 with ColorOS 15 interface. The photography sector carries a dual camera of 50-megapixel OIS, 2-megapixel depth, supported by color spectrum sensor, LED flash, and 4K at 30 frames per second video recording. The 16-megapixel front camera also features gyro EIS for stable selfies. Supporting performance, the 6,000 mAh battery supports 80-watt fast charging, 45% in just 20 minutes. The device comes in 2 elegant color options such as marble white and granite black. OPPO F29 Pro price, starting from $345. OPPO A5 Pro offers a 6.67-inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 720 by 1604 pixels, with a refresh rate of 120 Hz and a brightness level of up to 1000 nits HBM, protected by Gorilla Glass 7i or Shot Sensation Alpha. The phone's performance is supported by a MediaTek Dimensity 6300 chipset 6nm fabrication, combined with an octa-core CPU and Mali G57MC2 GPU, accompanied by 6 to 12 GB of RAM and up to 256 GB of UFS 2.2 storage that can still be expanded via microSD-XC. Athon's pet. In the photography sector, the rear carries dual cameras, a 50-megapixel f1.8 PDAF main sensor and a 2-megapixel depth lens capable of recording 1080p at 60 frames per second video. The 8-megapixel f2.0 front camera is ready to fulfill the needs of selfies and full HD video calls. All functions are supported by a 5,800 mAh battery with 45-watt PD fast charging, 50% in 35 minutes. OPPO provides 3 stylish color choices, namely flower pink, mocha brown, chocolate mocha, and feather blue, which are supported by a slim 7.8mm body that remains lightweight at 194 grams. OPPO A5 Pro price, starting from $194. OPPO Find N5 comes with an 8.12-inch foldable LTPO OLED display that supports 1 billion colors, Dolby Vision, HDR10+, and 120 Hz refresh rate, providing a sharp and responsive display with a peak brightness of up to 2100 nits. When folded, the exterior sports a 6.62-inch LTPO OLED cover screen with nanocrystal glass protection. In the camera sector, the device sports a triple rear camera system consisting of a 50-megapixel main sensor with OIS, a 50-megapixel telephoto periscope lens with 3 times optical zoom, and an 8-megapixel ultra-wide lens with a 116-degree viewing angle. Meanwhile, the front camera and the camera on the cover screen each have 8-megapixel resolutions with HDR features and 4K at 30 frames per second video recording capabilities. In terms of performance, the device is powered by a Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, 3nm fabrication, 7-core processor, as well as UFS 4.0 internal memory options of up to 1 TB and 16 GB of RAM. OPPO equips this phone with a 5,600 mAh battery equipped with 80-watt wired charging technology and 50-watt wireless charging for efficient charging. From the aspect of external appearance, this phone presents several elegant color variants, namely cosmic black, misty white, and dusk purple, complete with a choice of glass or eco-leather material on the back to suit the tastes of users. The price of OPPO Find N5 starts from $1,485. The latest smartphone from OPPO was officially released on January 11, 2025 yesterday with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 chipset, 4nm fabrication, which is combined with 8 and/or 12 GB of RAM and up to 512 GB of storage, as well as a microSD-XC slot. As for the display, it uses a 6.67-inch AMOLED 1080 by 2400 pixel resolution, which supports a refresh rate of 120 Hz and a peak brightness of up to 2100 nits. In the camera department, there is a 50-megapixel OIS main lens, 8-megapixel ultra-wide, and 2-megapixel macro. The front camera uses a 32-megapixel wide sensor. The phone's durability is supported by a 5,800 mAh battery with 45-watt fast charging, as well as a reverse wired feature. This phone is available in 3 colors, namely graphite gray, plume purple, and luminous blue. OPPO Reno 13F price, starting from $266 US.